Hello everyone, and welcome back to Hidden Korea, where stories of passion, mystery, and unforgettable moments come to life. Tonight, we uncover a moment that left fans around the world breathless. The goodbye kiss that changed everything, Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo's final moment in Seoul. Under the glowing lights of the city, two stars stood face to face, one preparing to leave, the other holding on to what words could no longer express. Was it a farewell? A promise? Or something far deeper than anyone imagined? Stay with us. Because tonight, we're taking you inside the goodbye that changed everything. Seoul was sleepless that night. The rain had been falling since dusk, washing neon colors across the slick streets like melted glass. From the window of Terminal 1, Min-Lee watched the storm blur the city he was about to leave behind. His flight to London was boarding in less than an hour. All he could think about was her. Hye. He had promised he wouldn't see her again. Promised his agency, his manager, his own trembling conscience that it was over. They had both chosen ambition over love, or at least, that's what they told themselves. Yet as the minutes slipped away, something inside him screamed that he couldn't leave like this. His phone buzzed. Hye, are you still at the airport? He stared at the screen. His heart stopped. Before he could reply, another message came. I'm outside. Min-Lee grabbed his coat and ran. Outside, under the canopy where taxis lined up like patient ghosts, she stood, soaked to the bone, hair plastered against her face, eyes shining with a kind of defiance that only comes from heartbreak. She didn't speak. Neither did he. The world around them buzzed, cameras, fans, security, but they stood in their own silence. She said, "You weren't going to say goodbye." He hesitated. "If I did, be able to leave?" Her lips trembled. "Then maybe you shouldn't." Min-Lee took a step closer. The air between them was charged, fragile. He could smell the rain on her skin, the faint trace of the perfume she always wore, jasmine and something darker, unaimable. "Don't do this," he said, his voice barely a whisper. "You know why I have to go. To run away. To start over." Half broke, halfway between bitter and broken. "You don't start over by running, Min-Lee. You start over by staying and fighting for what's real." He looked away. "What's real doesn't survive in our world. You know that better than anyone." She closed the distance between them, eyes glistening. "Then let's be the exception." For a second, one trembling, impossible second, he believed her. He believed that love could still exist in a world built on contracts, cameras, and lies. But then his manager's voice echoed in his mind. "If you see her again, everything you've built will fall apart." He reached up, brushing the rain from her cheek with the back of his hand. "If we were anyone else." She shook her head. "But we're not." The silence stretched, taut as a wire. And then, without warning, he leaned in and kissed him. It wasn't gentle. It wasn't careful. It was desperate, a kiss filled with every word they couldn't say, every promise they couldn't keep. For a moment, the world disappeared. The storm roared louder. The lights blurred brighter. And it was just them, tangled between goodbye and forever. When she pulled away, her breath hitched. "Now go," she whispered. "Before I make you stay." He wanted to argue, to promise he'd return. But his voice betrayed him. All he managed was a nod, small, helpless. As he turned to leave, she caught his wrist. "Don't forget what this felt like." He looked back, memorizing her face, the rain, the tears, the fire in her eyes. "I couldn't if I tried." He walked away then, every step heavier than the last. At the gate, he stopped one final time and glanced back through the glass. She was still standing there, alone beneath the downpour, watching him disappear. The plane lifted off into the storm, carving through clouds like a blade. Below, Seoul burned, lights flickering against the rain. The city alive and unknowing. Hye didn't move for a long time. Kept falling, washing everything clean except her heart. When she finally walked away, didn't go home. Instead, she went to the one place they had sworn never to return, the rooftop where they first met, years ago. Before fame, before fear. Creak open. The same wind that once tangled their laughter now chilling her skin. She stood there, looking out at the sleeping city. Her phone buzzed. "Unknown number, you think he left alone? Check the news." Her stomach dropped. She opened the link, a headline flashing across every portal site. Min Lee's sudden departure, rumors of a secret scandal behind his exit. Her pulse raced. She clicked the video. It was security footage, grainy but clear enough. Min at the airport, leaning in to kiss her. The headline cut like glass. Caught in the rain, Min Lee's hidden love exposed. The video had millions of views already. Comments flooded in, dividing, devouring. Is that Hye? I knew it, they were never over. What will his agency say? The storm outside was nothing compared to the one now exploding online. Ra's phone rang. Her manager's voice was sharp, frantic. Hi Ra, what did you do? They have footage. His career, your career, it's all collapsing. But she barely heard him. Were fixed on the screen, on that moment, frozen in time. The kiss. Their truth. How, deep down, she didn't regret it. The world caught fire overnight. By morning, every major outlet, fan site, and entertainment page screamed the same headline. The goodbye kiss that changed everything. Of the airport moment looped endlessly, slowed down, analyzed, dissected. Commentators debated whether it was love or scandal. Fans split into sides. Tags clashed across the internet. Min and Hye trended at #1. Within hours, Min's agency released a statement, cold, rehearsed, surgical. Lee's departure to London was pre-scheduled for personal development. The video circulating online has been taken out of context. There is no romantic involvement. A lie dressed as damage control. Meanwhile, Hye's management remained silent. Their phones turned off. Offices barricaded by reporters. She hadn't left her apartment in days. Curtains drawn. Television off, phone on mute. The light came from her laptop screen, still playing the video on repeat. The rain outside had stopped. The noise never did. When her doorbell rang on the fourth night, she froze. She wasn't expecting anyone. Her heart raced. Slowly. She opened the door. Min stood there. He looked nothing like the man on TV. His hair was messy. His eyes bloodshot. He'd lost weight. Still trembling from the flight he never meant to take. Shouldn't be here, she whispered. I know. They'll see you. I don't care. The air between them was electric. Fear, longing, regret. All tangled in the same silence. Finally, she stepped aside. He walked in. Dripping from the rain. The same storm that had witnessed their last kiss. For a long time, neither spoke. The world outside roared, reporters shouting his name. Fans crying betrayal. Agencies drafting statements, but in that small apartment. Only truth. I never made it to London, he said softly. She blinked. What? I got on the plane. But when it took off, I realized I left everything that mattered on the ground. So I came back. Her eyes filled with tears. You shouldn't have. I had to, he said. They can take my career. My reputation, I don't care anymore. Just couldn't let that kiss be the last thing between us. Shook her head, stepping back. You don't know what you're saying. They'll destroy you. He smiled sadly. Maybe destruction is the only way to start over. Outside, flashes exploded. Someone had spotted him. The paparazzi were swarming the street below. Min, she said urgently, you have to go. I'm not running again. Then I will. Turned away, but he caught her wrist, gently this time. Do you regret it? She froze. What? The kiss. Trembled. No. His eyes softened. Then neither do I. The sound of fists pounding the door shattered the fragile calm. Reporters, cameras, chaos. Min, is this your apartment? Are you and Hye living together? She looked at him, panic flashing across her face. It's over. He took a deep breath. Reached for the doorknob. What are you doing? Finishing what we started. He opened the door. The hallway exploded with light and noise. Microphones thrust forward. Cameras clicked like machine guns. Min, do you confirm the relationship? Was the airport kiss real? You leaving Korea for good? He didn't flinch. He took Hye's hand, pulled her gently beside him, and set into the sea of flashing lights. Yes, it was real. The world gasped. That single sentence changed everything. The backlash was immediate. Sponsors pulled out, agencies panicked. Networks canceled contracts. But among the chaos came something unexpected, empathy. Fans began defending them. sharing old photos, interviews, memories of when they'd first met. The hashtag changed. Let them be happy replaced the hate. Still, the cost was heavy. Within weeks, both of their careers were on hold. Hye disappeared from media, retreating into quiet. Hye followed soon after. For a while, they were ghosts. Until 1 year later. The world had moved on, new stars, new scandals. But on a quiet night in London, a short film premiered unexpectedly on a streaming platform. No title. No promotion. Just an upload with a single line of text. For those who still believe in real goodbyes. The film opened with a shot of Seoul at night, rain falling. Neon lights flickering. A woman standing under an airport canopy. Yes. The same one. But then, new scenes, unseen moments. Him boarding the plane. Her walking away, both crying. Both writing letters they'd never send. The film ended with a simple message on the screen. Sometimes, love doesn't fade. Just learns to live quietly. Credits rolled. Written and directed by Hye. Produced by Min-Lee. The internet exploded. Some said it was art. Others said it was confession. But most simply cried. Within a week, the film hit #1 worldwide. Of them gave interviews. No explanations, no press, no statements. Just silence. Months later, a fan visiting Seoul posted a photo, a mural in Hongdae. It showed two silhouettes under an umbrella. It's painted beneath them. One kiss. One goodbye. One forever. No one claimed the artwork. Who knew their story didn't need to ask? And somewhere, under the same Seoul sky that once witnessed their heartbreak, two people walked through the crowd unnoticed, hand in hand, faces hidden, hearts finally at peace. Love, they had learned, doesn't need to be seen to be real. It just needs to survive. When the world stopped watching, they finally began to breathe. Cameras, no questions, just the soft hum of life, ordinary and real. Min-Lee painted again. Hye rode in cafes by the river. Sometimes, strangers would pass by and think they looked familiar. But no one ever asked. The storm that once drowned them had become a memory, distant, forgiven. And every year, on the same rainy night, turned to the old airport canopy. No words. No ceremony, only a kiss, soft and fleeting. Like the first one that changed everything. 'Cause some stories aren't meant to end in headlines. And quietly, in the spaces between two heartbeats. Where love, once lost, learns how to last forever. To everyone who stayed with us until the very end, thank you. Some stories aren't told through grand gestures or perfect endings, but through the quiet courage of two hearts that dared to be honest. Min-Lee and Hye's journey. We are reminded that love doesn't always follow the script. It falters, it breaks, hides, and yet somehow, it finds its way back. Not to the stage, but to the soul. At Hidden Korea, we tell stories not to chase fame, but to uncover the fragile beauty that lies behind every goodbye. Every unspoken word, every imperfect moment that still means everything. Thank you for watching, for feeling, believing in love that survives the noise, and in goodbyes that are never truly the end. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep your heart open to the stories that linger in silence.